Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video, another one in the series in which I am taking a closer look at this book, 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die, and I asked the question, does this particular album belong in the book? And today, it is time for the first video on my channel in which I'm paying attention to Yes. I'm going to be talking today about Yes Fragile, and this copy of the album, this is the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab one-step pressing. I recently bought it from a friend of mine, and it was the second time I was listening to it. I listened to it last night. I have a German pressing of it as well, the first German pressing, and I listened to it before this one. But I thought to just relax, sit down, and take a close listen to this album. Now, to give you the full experience of what I've been listening to, I think it might be important to share a bit of what's in this box. Because when I look at the cover, I get the sense that yes, we're trying to create somewhat of their own world. Musically, perhaps, I get the sense listening to this that they are presenting me with a fantasy album. Now, this may also be my personal experience and misjudging the cover, but this to me looks like the kind of images Tolkien would be drawing from Middle Earth, and there is a mysterious, I believe it's an aircraft, mysterious aircraft which looks like a Da Vinci structure down here, and I am really intrigued because not only is it the image of the artwork, and I'd like to share a bit of the artwork with you, but I also have the idea that they are trying to put this into the music themselves. This is a booklet. I'd really like to share this with you. There is an interesting picture booklet, which, I mean, with these kind of images, I really get the idea of what bands like Led Zeppelin and Queen were also flirting with in their early days. The idea that they are creating a landscape. Now, for Led Zeppelin and Queen, that was mostly lyrical, and for Led Zeppelin also with their film, The Song Remains the Same, they are flirting with the idea of a fantasy world. In the case of Yes, I get the sense that the fantasy world is a fantasy of instruments and textures and certain strange melodies. And not only does this draw me into the world of a band trying to create their own fantasy world in musical textures, in melodies, and these are not melodies that are focused on drawing you in. I really experienced this album different than Close to the Edge or the Yes album, and I want to do videos about them as well. I want to give them a little bit more attention to Yes, because I don't have the sense that I fully understand them, but I think those other albums were much easier, more inviting listens. Yet this album does something unique that the others don't have. It is that idea of a world, and it also is the idea that I'm visiting a young man's room in the early 70s. And I have a very specific idea about what kind of room that would be or could be. No, Leila, sorry. No, she wants to play. Sorry. A young man's room in the suburbs. In America or in Europe, because Yes was also very popular. No, Leila, there's a video. Come on. You're a good girl, but later on. In the suburbs. In the suburbs, and I picture that in my mind, a certain quest for some kind of freedom, you know, Layla, some kind of freedom, and I find that intriguing. But I also get the sense that this music stays there, if you know what I mean. And I'm not saying that it's irrelevant, but it doesn't time travel as well as I experience with, for example, Pink Floyd, or the music of Frank Zappa, which is also very experimental, and who is also drawing soundscapes with his instruments. this is somewhat there's somewhat an emotional dissonance for me. I'm intrigued. I like the sound. I like the textures. I like what they're doing. I like the world they're creating. But I'm never fully involved. Yet, that is no basis of deciding its relevance for me. Although I do fear that Yes might not be the band that survives the 70s or these days, as well as, for example, Pink Floyd or other prog rock bands of those days, King Crimson. Um, Yet I am intrigued, and this is an impressive album. This is a very impressive situation, and I'm clearly intrigued by what's going on. But it's intrigue. It's not, for me, yet pure love, beautiful love, and it somehow doesn't stick in my head. But I do want to visit it. I do want to visit it. So, should this be in the book, 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die? It's an interesting experience, so yes, it should be. So it's a positive review. It's not a wholehearted review, but it's a positive review. And you know what? I'm gonna visit this again. I'm curious if this will grow on me. So that is my review for Yes, Fragile. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.